Hello. Testing. Testing. Hello. Hello. Testing. Testing. Hello. If you are joining me live on YouTube, this is the first stream. Let me know if you can see this. Oh, what's up, Joe? Cool. I can actually see this in my chat. So I can see that you're here. Very cool. Very helpful. How's the quality coming through? How's the sound and video quality? SMCI chart. Yeah, let's do it. That's what I want to do tonight. I want to do some charts. one thing I want to do is I want to, oh, awesome. Thanks so much for the feedback. That's really helpful. One thing I want to do is at some point embed the chat into the stream so that we can see what everyone's saying. I'm just going to put this in the Discord quick. I wonder how this compares with X as far as the quality and everything. You see that? I even added some of my own borders and information. Never did that before. Just tried it out on OBS. Go ahead if you get a chance, try to like the stream. And I know I have this shared on X. I'm gonna try to share it with everyone. Oh yeah, that quality's coming in good on my phone. Cool. Very cool. If you are joining in, say hi in the chat. Gonna try to grow this as organically as possible. We'll see how I can do this. YouTube is a foreign thing to me. I live stream every day in the Discord, but I have not done it on YouTube. So we'll see. I'm using OBS Studio to try to put up some of the graphics and imagery and stuff. This is pretty cool. Pretty cool. I wonder if I can live stream both on X and YouTube at the same time. Is that even possible? I don't think it is. Might be. I'll have to look it up. Just out of curiosity, do you like YouTube streams better than X? I would say it's a little easier to navigate. So I could do both X and YouTube simultaneously, huh? That would be interesting. I will try that. So, guys, we're going to be doing market analysis tonight. We're going to do chart requests. Please put your chart requests for tonight. I know Joe mentioned SMCI. If there's anything else, throw it in there. I'm going to wait just a couple minutes, get a few more people on here. What a day. Today was a lot of fun. Yesterday was even more fun. See if I can get. Oh, cool. So I can look at participation. See, I got participants, reactions, moderation. Huh. Oh, nice. I can do timestamps too. Let's try it out. Well, I think while we're here, let's do some charting. So SMCI. What a chart, huh? Cool. Okay, so looking at SMCI, just at first glance, okay, got it, got that. So just at first glance for SMCI, I'm on the weekly chart. I have this ABCD pattern that completed down at 459. Since then, we blew through that level, retested it as resistance last week, which was good for a sign of continuation, which we saw last week. We made some new lows down in the 380s, somewhere around 385, I think. Since then, we've bounced, and what I'm looking for is this 1618 level, 459. So for this black colored ABCD pattern that takes us down to 115, for that to actually unfold, we have to look at these fib levels as benchmarks. So the 1618, which is the 459, that will act as a benchmark. So what is a benchmark? A benchmark, when it comes to Fibonacci, for me, that is like taking you from phase one of a big short or a big long, hitting one benchmark, you take a rest break, and then phase two is you go from the phase one benchmark and you stay within that benchmark. So in this case, we would stay within resistance of 459, which would set up continuation to our next main target, which is down at 327, being our 2.0 fib. So what I would not do is I would not go short if we end up above that benchmark of the 1618, which is at 459. So I'm not looking to short this as long as we are going towards or above 459. What I will look for is if we do go to 459 and we reject that, let's say that we reject 459 on the weekly, which would be ideal, then I could justify a swing short and to try to target the recent lows down in the 380s. So it would look something like this. You know, we are pretty much getting an engulfing candle at the moment, but it would look something like this for this first move, where we go up to the 459, we wait for that to test, and we watch for the resistance at that level. And then if we do get resistance at that level, we will come down, retest our weekly lows here in the 380s, and then we make our next move to 327. which would be that next benchmark for our fibs, because we got a lot of long-term fibs here. 327, 245, and 115. It's a long ways down for that move, and so you just have to be patient. One thing I do want to talk about as far as how, concerning Fibonacci, is any type of big candle like what we had 2 weeks ago at the end of August. What we do to help measure continuation in the trend is we draw a Fibonacci retracement from up here, from the top of that weekly candle to the bottom of that weekly candle. And we use that to measure specific levels that you want to maintain and sustain in order to continue down. So the example I'm going to show you right now is specific to the 1618, to the 618 retracement. So on the weekly chart, right, we have this big candle to the downside. The goal is to never get, in this case, it's a downtrend, so we're measuring a retracement up. What we don't want to do, and I found this, that statistically with weekly charts and these weekly candles, is when you have a big candle like this, statistically, if you retrace more than 618%, so in this case it would be breaking 532, which we didn't. We actually retrace at the 236, caught resistance there, and that's what led us to new lows, which was good. So sellers stepped in right there around the 450 area, 450, 460, and shoved it back down. But if you were to go above the 618, then it increases the likelihood of an engulfing candle. So let me look at this here. Joe, are you still there? Just wanted to double check. Okay, awesome. Let's see. For some reason, it did not show that you were in here. I'll have to figure something out with that so I can see who's actually in the chat. Yeah, so the 618 retracement, if we exceed that off of a big candle like that, then the likelihood of a engulfing candle increases drastically. I'm going to show an example of SPY, and I went over this with my Discord. And one of the things that I looked at was the bearish candle from last week on SPY, and we measured the retracement, and then my key resistance was the 618, which was at 552. Now, if you look at, let's just look at the 5-minute chart for today. 552 is the level we broke above at the end of the day on Wednesday. So when we closed above that on Wednesday, I immediately said to everyone, if we close above that 1618, now the likelihood of an engulfing candle back up to the previous week's high is likely. It's never certain, but it's likely. It's very likely. So for today in the morning, my benchmark, as I mentioned with SMCI, my benchmark for that was the 618 fib, which was 552. You'll notice that the low of day for SPY was right near that 618 fib, 552. it was also near my algo succession. So if I go to SPY, I had a couple things line up. I had that long-term fib, or that 618 fib down here, and I had the 0618, or sorry, the 38 algo succession. And that's why my scenario 1 was the 38 mirror move with the 618 as the secondary target. So I got to change that to 930 actually. So there we go. So the 38 mirror move, the first target was the 38 right here, and then the 618 being right here. And so right when we broke that 618, we got close to the 786. I closed my long on SPY and ended up going to lunch, went to the gym. And so this 618 was that move. So simultaneously, I had my algo succession and I had this long-term fib at similar levels. And that's why when I saw the wick down and the really good respect down at that level, I figured that would be a decent risk reward off that level, which, you know, that's the level, unsurprisingly, that we went to, and we went higher. So the next benchmark is up here at 560 because 560 was the weekly high. 560 is where we drew our fib from. So we are so close to 560. We are so close to an engulfing candle now on the weekly that I'm almost certain that that's where we're going to go on SPY with that engulfing candle. And it all started with drawing a Fibonacci retracement for this candle. So similar to SMCI, we continued in the trend because we stayed within that fib. We made a new low. And now the thing that's interesting for this week is if I were to draw a fib from the previous candle down here, look what we're doing. SMCI just cleared the 618 today. So there is a decent chance we go up to 464, which was that weekly high. And other than that 464 level, I did have that 459 level that was super important for SMCI. That was the key fib we had here. See if I can find it. Here we go. So 459. So notice how 459 is up here. And that's my key resistance. I'm looking for a retest to see if sellers come back and do that. And the fact that we're above the 618 on this weekly candle, showing that the trend has reversed and we're likely to have at least a engulfing candle. So for SMCI, if I am super excited to go short, I should not be super excited to overnight anything at the moment as far as an entry is concerned. I would be more interested in an SMCI short closer to 464 or 459. And I'll wait. I'll wait for that. And if we get that rejection, then I can justify that short because that's my benchmark, 459. I don't want to be going short if we're above that 459. And we are below it, but we're heading towards it. So in the last few days, we had our chance to reject the 618 down at 433. We did have our chance, and I think that chance is over, and we need to just let this thing do its thing to the upside. So SMCI, for the most part, I am not too antsy to get into a short at the moment. So anyone else that's joined us, welcome. If you guys got chart requests, please throw them in the chat. Let me know if you're in here. I'd love to see who I have in here. So Joe, was there another one that you had mentioned in the last few days? Can't remember if you had another chart. Crystal asked me about Oracle. They had earnings recently. Yes. Fantastic. Oracle doing its thing. So, much like SMCI, I mentioned the 1618. Oh, yeah, EL. That's right. We'll do that one next. So, on Oracle, similar to how I mentioned the 1618 on SMCI, for Oracle, the 1618 was the benchmark in order to do this move right here and head towards the 2618. This is the type of move I want to see for SMCI. But again, we have to make sure that SMCI rejects that benchmark move, the 1618. As far as Oracle's concerned, I think Oracle's going to head up to 173. It's currently at 170, which is crazy. It's actually, oh my gosh. What happened? There must have been some news. I gotta take a look at that. Must have been some news. Their earnings wasn't today. What did they do? I don't see any news for Oracle, and it's squeezing after hours. It is absolutely ripping. I don't see any news. Interesting. Okay, let me do something here. Up 5, almost 6%. Nah, earnings was September 9th. Hey, what's up, Marco? Unless, did the earnings change today? To today? What did they have today? JP Morgan Payments launched new and enhanced product integrations with the Oracle Corporation ecosystem, designed to simplify and streamline payment processes across treasury operations. There you go. Bingo. That is why Oracle is up another 6% today. That was just announced for today, probably after hours. Interesting. Okay. Let me see something here. Okay. $170. Pattern completion at 173.30 for the ABCD harmonic. So I just responded to her tweet there. So Joe said, I think they're having a company conference, executive raise guidance or something. Interesting. Very interesting. Marco, what's up? Thanks for joining. Thanks, guys, for hopping on here. For anyone that is watching, um, this is my first YouTube stream. Never done it before. Tried to figure it out. So, I think the audio works pretty good. Video works good. I threw up some graphics, some information, pretty basic stuff. I'm gonna give it a go. Johnny R, what's up? What's up, Johnny R? We're doing Oracle right now. Um, Speaking of which, there he is. We're gonna do EL next. So Oracle, since my tweet, or X, I like calling it a tweet, don't you guys? I like calling it a tweet. It feels weird to call it anything else. So Oracle's up 19% since my post. 19% since my alert. Gotta add the rocket ship to that one. I'm just posting on X right now. Just had to. Make sure you guys like and subscribe the channel. I'm trying to organically grow this. I think it said before I can monetize anything or do anything really with the channel at all, I have to have 1,000 subscribers, something like that. So that's my first goal, have 1,000 subscribers. And then I think once the channel grows a bunch, I think there's a bunch of tiers for subscriptions and stuff, and I might do something with that for chart requests, because I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of them as time goes. I already get enough in the Discord. And so far, I kind of like the chat and the stream setup better on YouTube than X. I think X could be really good, though. I do. I'll probably do something on X, something on YouTube, just kind of feel it out, see how that goes. But yeah, the way you guys can help me is like it, share it, subscribe to it. If I post it on X, share that stuff. What's up, Pete? What's going on, man? Thanks for joining. We just charted Oracle. It's up 19% since my alert back on September 5th. Part of that is earnings. And just recently, what I read was JP Morgan Payments launched a new and enhanced product integration with the Oracle Corporation ecosystem. So that's why it's up so much after hours. It's up another 6%. It's at 171. My price target was 173.30, and we were sitting below 140 or 142 when I first alerted it. So that's not bad. Couple weeks, it's up almost 20%. Fantastic. Fantastic. Really awesome. And guys, if you're joining for the first time, subscribe, send me your chart requests. We're going to do some charts. Joe, I'm going to hop over to your chart, EL. Estee Lauder. So I think I recall you made a post and tagged me in it, and you said, when does the pain end? When does it end? And Joe also said, yeah, executives raised revenue guidance after hours for Oracle. Interesting. Very interesting. Well, Oracle monthly chart just looks like a big old mountain. Looks like almost like an Atlas trading pump and dump. Wouldn't you say? I could draw the Atlas logo and everything. There you go. Except it's yellow, you probably can't see that. So I'm gonna see if I can find any type of harmonic, if any. That's an 8-4. Where did it complete? 1-2-7-2. Ah, actually 1-1-4, 1-4 something. Ooh. Oh boy, we might have a legit pattern completion coming up on Estee Lauder, which means get ready for longs potentially. I mean, 1-2-7-2, we're at 1-2-3 right now, and we're starting to bounce. So I'm going to draw a Fibonacci retracement starting back from 2020. I'm going to turn all of these on. You may have just caught the harmonic right at the pattern completion, which is hard to do. A lot of times you miss it, or you're late to it, or you're too early. This is very close to being just right. So almost there. We're almost there. We're at 84. So 7250 is the pattern completion. This is what's called a butterfly pattern. For those of you that are new to harmonics, for those of you that are new joining me, welcome. Harmonics are just part of my trading tool belt that I use. You utilize these at the pattern completion. Let me see something here. So at the pattern completion, down here, see, can I make that default? I'll just call that default blue. I don't want it to be yellow anymore. Okay, so harmonics are utilized. It utilizes Fibonacci retracement and the relationships between the primary ratios and primary projections, and it helps identify when market structure has completed a move or begins a new move. And in this case, they're basically M's and W's with very specific combinations of Fibonacci levels. I have a PDF. If you're in the Discord, there's a free Discord. It's the Market Brigade. And in the Market Brigade, there's the free part of the Discord. We post charts, stuff like that. And then I have another group in the Discord, but it's a private group, and that is the pre-market group. Those are the guys I trade with every single day. I live stream starting at 8:30 a.m. Up till lunch, take an hour or two break, come back, trade power hour. We do that every night, and I do TA education in that group. I do chart requests for that group. That's like the main thing I do. So I trade full time in that group. Some people in there are, I'd say most people in there are trading part time. Some people are doing full time. But if you want access to how to figure out how to draw harmonics, send me a DM in the Discord. I'll just send you the PDF. Nothing for it. That's how I learned it. I just read it, studied it, started to apply it, and I've just been charting these ever since. So that's why I'm good at charting them. I got a lot of experience. So all this stuff is memorized now in the back of my hand. Second nature to me. So why is this a harmonic? Why is 7250? Well, I'll tell you why. The primary ratio is 0. Well, that didn't work out. I'll just tell you, it's 0.618, the primary ratio. What you get in the Fibonacci sequence, starting with the 8th and 9th sequence up to infinity, is a specific ratio of growth. A ratio of decay and a ratio of growth. So just think of, projection and retracement. And that ratio is 0.618. And when you inverse 0.618, you get the projection, you get the rate of growth. And when you inverse 0.618, you get 1.618. So those are the two key fibs in the Fibonacci sequence, 0.618 primary ratio, and then 1.618 as the primary projection. Now, for the primary ratio, I'm specifically looking for the relationship here between the X and the B point, which I have as 0.786. So if the primary ratio is 0.618, what do I do with 786? Well, what I do know is mathematically, 786 is the square root of 618. So that's how you get 786. You take 0.618, square root of that, 786. How do I get 886? Well, you take the fourth root of 0.618 and you get 886. So if 0.786 is the square root of the primary ratio of 0.618, then I need the square root of the primary projection. So if the primary projection is 1.618, then I do the square root of 1.618 and I get 1.272, which is the pattern completion down here, because we are projecting to the downside. So mathematically, that's how that all works out. So what do we do here at the PRZ, which stands for potential reversal zone? This zone is right down here, right at the pattern completion. It can go as low as the 1414 for this specific fib. And so I just labeled that PRZ. And as I label that PRZ, let me see here. I'm going to try to respond to your tweet with EL on it, if I can find it. Might be lost. But once we get to this pattern completion, here's the big so what. When you get there, we reduce our short exposure because now the risk reward increases for longs. The reversal risk also increases because what these harmonics are set up to do, they are set up to trade the pattern completion. So if the pattern does complete here and buyers step in, what you look for in this case is a bullish move to the upside. So M's, all of the M's you see in the market set up bullish moves. So this is called a butterfly pattern because of the ratios. And I would call this a bullish butterfly pattern, not because this chart looks bullish, but because at the pattern completion, it sets up bullish price action. So how do we know how high it will go? Good question. What we do is we draw a Fibonacci retracement from the C point right here. So the top right side of the M all the way down to wherever you start bouncing. And then what you do is you plan on the bounce, the standard bounce, getting to roughly 386. Or sorry, 382, the 38 fib. And the reason why that's the primary target, or I would call it the standard target, is because every single harmonic requires a minimum of a 0.382 retracement. So a 0.382 retracement in this case would take us up to 164. That's a huge move from where we just came from. That's saying a lot. That's also asking for a lot. That's 125% gain off of that bounce. Are you crazy? I might be. I don't know. So here's the big so what. Wait. Before you consider going long on Estee Lauder, wait for it to go to the pattern completion. Let it go there. 72.50. We have some good support down there. The 72 to 75 dollar range, there is good support back from 2017, 2016. Could it go lower? It could go as low as 38 bucks, which would be awful. I mean, those would be levels from 2011, but I think it's more realistic to bounce somewhere here between where it's at now and down at 72. So if it does, if it continues lower, let it. It looks like it will. Be patient. Maybe set a horizontal alert on your chart so that it sends you an email or a text message so that when it gets, let's say it drops below, 78 bucks or 75 bucks as it's arriving to your level 72, you get an alert for it and you can prepare. You look for buyers to step in and you go to buy, and then your first Fibonacci level before you go to the 38, your first conservative target is always the 114, so that would be 96 bucks roughly in this case. So before you go to a 164, you got to stair step it. Got to go up to the 114 fib at 96 bucks. Break that, and then you can go to the next fib and then the next fib. So that is Estee Lauder. It's actually a great looking chart. I'm going to see if I can find Estee Lauder. I know you posted about it. Was it today maybe? Probably was today. Here we go. I found it. Cool. EL weekly chart. Butterfly harmonic setup. Currently 84.20. Pattern completion at 72.50. If buyers come in there, a good risk reward long, targeting $96 first, which is the 114 fib. Can eventually see the 38 fib at 164, but that's a few years down the road. So those are my thoughts on that one. Good chart requests. That was good. Pete in here. Welcome, Pete. Pete asked for Baidu. So let's take a look at Baidu. Baidu is a Chinese ticker for those that are not aware. Baidu also has a bat harmonic that I've had drawn for a while now. All right. So what's the big so what? Well, the big so what is we are in a retracement phase. I don't think it's smart to short Baidu. I think it's got better risk reward to go long on Baidu. And the upside target we're looking for, the first one is 88.49. That's the 0.114 fib. That is what we're looking at for Baidu. Hey, Pete, I'm going to post Baidu on my X account. That's what I'll do. That way you can see the chart if you're not in the Discord. By the way, everyone in the Discord, they have access to all my TradingView charts. I provide a link. They click the link. All my drawings just poof right on your chart. So it's on my charts on your chart. That's how that works for people in the pre-market group. So if you're ever sick of that, sick of drawing them or looking at screenshots, that is one advantage to that. So Baidu, here we go. I'm gonna post this here. All right, guys. Any other charts before I post this here? So I'm gonna post this, but if you guys got other tickers, throw them at me. Bring it. So Baidu update. Currently 84.30. Looking for the 0.114 test at 88.49. That is our key resistance that could take us to 97.92. However, a rejection of 88.49 could also send us to new recent lows as its continuation fib launching pad for new lows highs in the current trend. So I just posted Baidu update onto X. Old tech, IBM. I like it. I was actually scanning IBM the other day, and I thought about coming back to it. So it's interesting you asked about that. And then Pete also asked about Pfizer. Yeah, absolutely. I got time for both those. Let's do IBM. Ooh. Wow. Okay. Kind of clean up my old chart here. IBM. That's weird. It's making me confirm deleting these. TradingView never did that. I don't like that update. TradingView, you're fired. You are fired. Okay, long term. What do we have here? First thing that comes to mind, it looks like an ABCD pattern. But this dates back to 2008. Ugh. It's kind of ugly. I mean, it's valid though. So here's an example of the primary ratio of 618. In order to get this 886, I have to do the fourth root. So what I do is I take the 1618 projection, and the fourth root of that is 1132. So that's why my projection is up here at 222. It's because I got the fourth root projection and the fourth root retracement. So this is like the monthly chart, the big, the big daddy. Let me pull up my auto harmonic just to see if anything pops up. So that was a deep crab with a retracement. Let me confirm with a... So if you're wondering where I'm getting this auto harmonic thing, it's something I'm building right now. It's not done yet. I do have about 6 or 7 indicators that I use, that I've built. 1, 2, 3. That's too high. I don't like that. I'm going to stick with this long-term ABCD pattern, to be honest. That's the best pattern. That's the most obvious one, too. That is the best pattern. It takes you to 222. Pretty simple one, actually. Previous all-time highs. If anyone else has additional requests, let me know. I'm going to do Pfizer next. So IBM is currently at 211.79. 222 is the pattern completion for this ABCD pattern. It is wise to reduce your long exposure as you approach 222, and then you look for a possible retracement off that level for a short setup, taking you down to the 38 fib down at 170, which would make sense if there is a type of recession or anything like that on the horizon. This could be, you know, the last kind of its last move before something like that would occur. So would not be too surprised by that. Let me pull this back here. So about 170. Yeah. IBM monthly chart, ABCD pattern, currently at 211.79, approaching pattern completion at 222.02. Smart to reduce long exposure as you approach that level. Retracement risk can bring us back to 170. I like that one. Oh, McDonald's. Let's do it. Do Pfizer and McDonald's. Bryce, what's up, man? Good to have you. Thanks for joining. Anyone who's joining for the first time, please like and subscribe. Help me grow the channel. If you want to see me post more on here, I think seeing people engage, joining the streams, engaging with the videos and stuff, that definitely will help. This is my first time streaming on YouTube. I'm giving it a go. People have been bothering me about doing it for a long time now, and I think it's about time. Give it a go. So let's do Pfizer. Pfizer weekly chart. Hmm. One, 272. Okay, I'm gonna have to make sure I keep a level head with this one and draw both a bullish pattern and a bearish pattern if there is one. So let me take a jab. Ooh, I did not mean to that was a pun. I did not even intend that. Let me take a jab. 1272. And I'll change that to red. So this would be MM81. What's up? Brigade fam, what is going on? Good to see you. What is going on? So I'm from Minnesota and I moved to Kentucky after I got out of the army. And one of the things that makes me laugh about people from down here, they give you a nickname for just about anything. I'll never forget, I showed up one time to a dove hunt. There was about 22 of us at a dove hunt on like 600 acres out in Elizabethtown, Kentucky. I showed up, and this guy, I said, he was wearing Crocs. He was a friend of my friend's, and we didn't really know each other, but like he had heard about me or whatever, and he was cool. He goes, he had been drinking, and he goes, "What's going on, big lizard lips?" And I just went, "What?" Like, and everyone started laughing, and I saw him, and so I responded. I said, "What's going on, old croc head?" Because he had Crocs on. And this is the guy that wore a suit and tie with cargo shorts and Crocs at his sister's wedding. So it always made me laugh that this guy wore Crocs everywhere he went. And he's got a mustache. He's like 6'5", a UPS driver. So like when I answer the phone now, like they'll say, "Hey, what's up, Hammerhead?" Or they'll call me, "Hey, what's up, big lizard lips?" Or just something just ridiculous. And I never experienced that anywhere in my life until I moved to Kentucky. So for Pfizer, I got two. That's a weird change of subject. For Pfizer, I got two harmonics, and sorry, that cracks me up. Just thinking about it still cracks me up. So for Pfizer, I got two harmonics. One is a deep crab, and one is a butterfly. The deep crab is bullish in nature, and the butterfly is bearish in nature. So, let's see here. So in the short term, really the key resistance level for Pfizer, and what it did, it just tested a long-term upper trend line dating back to February and January of 2024. And it rejected it so far this week. It also rejected the neckline resistance up at 29.73. So really, for me to be more confident in a long on Pfizer, I'd really like to see it above 29.73, which is the neckline resistance, and then punch through the X point resistance up at 30.28. So ultimately, an entry above 29.70, 29.73, and then breaking through key resistance around 30.28. That's what I'm looking for if I'm long, in order to project up to this $33 level for the deep crab pattern completion. With that being said, now the short thesis for this one is actually right off this rejection here. As long as you stay below this upper trend line, you could probably justify shorting this back down to the neckline support down at 27.85 for this butterfly setup. And then once you break that neckline support at 27.85, you target the X point support down at 26.82, and then your pattern completion sits down at 25.59. So there's a couple setups. Two harmonic setups, weekly chart. I'm just going to post that. currently 2916. I feel so fancy that I have like graphics on my chart now. That I figured out how to do a stream. It looks somewhat decent. It looks a little dated. But I am no fancy pants when it comes to any of that. So, let's do McDonald's. Let's do McDonald's. Mickey D. I'm sure if I ever change my, if I ever go missing on X or on Twitter, just type up Big Lizard Lips. That'll probably be my alt account where I'll be in hiding. Big Lizard Lips. What a nickname. McDonald's. Well, it did hold my key support whenever I tweeted that. When did I tweet that? That was my level. I'm like, yep, if we can hold there, let's go back up. March 5th. What was I doing March 5th? Okay. Let me zoom out of here. Oh, wait a sec. Ah. Okay. I think we are completing a inverse head and shoulders pattern here soon. So let me take a look at what that might be. 3, 5. Nope. Inverse head and shoulders pattern. That sure as hell looks like one. I'm going to say a retracement. I'm going to say watch out for a retracement to the downside. So let me draw where that arrow would be. I do have to draw key resistance here. I'm going to have to relabel this to February 23 lows. Feb 23 lows. Label that blue. Hmm. Retracement. 38% retracement. Okay. Yeah, I'm cool with that. I'm gonna make that black. Retracement target. Hmm. Yep. So, for McDonald's, I see an inverse head and shoulders pattern that is just completing. Key resistance is 296.36. If it keeps rejecting that level, um, you could justify a short entry and target around 276. So currently 292, 276 is the 38% retracement target. That also is a really nice resistance level from the past, kind of where that armpit is for the inverse head and shoulders. So I would treat that as a really good support level to the downside should it continue lower. I would not short this if it gets above 296.36 because then I think it is going to go on to test all-time highs and from there could project much higher. So the short opportunity is somewhere below 296 as long as 296 stays at bay. I am going to post about it. Let's see. Inverse head and shoulder pattern. And we will do Roblox. Bryce, thanks for subscribing, man. I appreciate it. And thanks for following me on X and on Twitter. It's good to it's really cool to have people that have been, following for quite some time and engaging with people. So I do appreciate everyone's time and engagement and stuff. That's what makes all this worth it. I do enjoy I do enjoy teaching. I do enjoy sharing stuff. Um, and I think when I got good people around me, it just makes it that much better, that much more satisfying. So thanks again, man. Um, Demario, what's up? Roblox, we're going to do Roblox next. I'm just posting McDonald's on X so people can see it, so you can reference it later too. Inverse head and shoulders pattern completion at 296. Possible short opportunity down to 276. Invalid short above 296. Oh, let's see. Let's do Roblox. It's been a while since I've traded Roblox. I used to trade it quite a bit. It was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun to the upside on Roblox back in 2021. I rode that thing up during the crazy squeeze, and then I also shorted Roblox sometime in 2022 for a couple weeks. I haven't really traded it ever since. Kind of left it alone as it trades within this range. But it's getting pretty close to the upper side of this range, which is posing a very interesting setup. Very interesting setup. I just want to see, just based on some good old-fashioned trend lines, what's going on. Okay. Well, that's a big deal, and everyone on X probably sees it just as much as I see it. Huh. Hmm. All right, I gotta throw my bias out and be cautious here. I'm gonna look for a bullish pattern as well, but this was easily identifiable for me right here. This would be a butterfly pattern. Yes, this would mean new lows down at 18 bucks at some point, but it's the 786 retracement here that gave it away. That's what I look for, is when it's that exact. So I'd say if it breaks recent highs, don't worry about it. It'll probably go higher, and that's great. I'm going to draw this ABCD pattern as well using the same fib. So I'm going to take you to 1272 up there. And there's one thing with me, I try my best to throw my bias out the window, and I just look at the chart and trade accordingly. So that's an ABCD pattern. Pattern completion is up at $52. Realistically, you would like a break of $47. So let's do the PRZ up here. That sets up a 38% retracement. And that would take you down to here. And then I also have to do the PRZ down here, which would be a bullish PRZ once you get there. I'll make that green. Guys, if you have any other chart requests, throw them in there because I'm almost done with this one here. So I need my retracement for this. And roughly that. Okay. Oh, it looks like ANET. It looks like I missed ANET. Yes, I will do ANET. Uh, I'm gonna post this on X so that you have it before I mention Roblox. Currently 45, 41. Yeah, that's good. All right, so let's talk about it. So currently it's testing current highs up at the about the $47 range. That's the key resistance I want to see for a break. So if you're bullish on Roblox, you want to see 47 broke to the upside. From there, you can project to the 1272 up at $52. That's where I would take my profits as you approach $52 and get closer to it. Reduce your long exposure. The reason being is that is going to be the primary projection. It's the square root of 1.618, which is 1272. And the reason we use the square root of the primary ratio is because, or the primary projection is because 0.786, which is down here, the retracement is the square root of 0.618. So that's why I have the projection conservatively going to $52 if we can sustain above the $47 key resistance. For the short, we basically have to turn around right now for the short. We really can't go much higher before invalidating this pattern for the short. So something's going to have to happen. Bad news, I don't know what it is, to turn this around for the short, because this could be the beginning of the short setup I have drawn here for the butterfly. But I'd say I'm more confident with the bullish price target with the ABCD pattern up at 52. But if for some reason, tomorrow or next week, you see this thing dump, you'll have this harmonic to reference. So that is pretty much all I got for Roblox. I'll do ANET because I know that was asked a while ago, and then I'll do OCGN. We got Hamiltose. I feel like I have heard that name before. I don't know why I would have heard the name Hamiltose before. That is a very unique name, but it sounds familiar. Hmm. Quick question while I chart this. Is there any other information I should be putting on my stream for you guys that would be helpful? I'm trying to think of anything else I should put on there. ANET. Arista Networks. Ah, you asked me about OCGN on Twitter. I probably was half asleep and got an eyesore from seeing that ticker. I know a lot of people are hurting from that one. But yes, I will take a look. We'll take a look at that. I know Mikey's behind that one. I actually at one point was in Mikey's group for maybe a month. And when I charted OCGN and I sent it to him, I'm like, bro, this thing is not going where you say it's going. It's going here. And I think I said it was going to like 1580 something or $16, and I think it went to 16 or 18 bucks and then dumped. I took my profits and ran, and I told him to stop telling people to keep holding and keep buying, and that it was irresponsible, and we had a falling out, and I basically said, screw you, you're a dumb idiot. You're going to screw over everyone, and that's exactly what he did. And everyone, I got a lot of shit for leaving that group too. He hated me. He absolutely hated me. He hated me so bad he was sending people after me. And the people he sent after me, they got hurt so bad by that stock that they eventually apologized to me, which was shocking because they were just the nastiest people I ever dealt with. Yeah, he's a real prick. That's one of my rules too. I'm never gonna trade with anyone that's just that awful to people. He's basically a data pimp. That's what he does. He provides a service in which he just provides data that you can get from anywhere. You can literally get that data from anywhere. But we don't need to talk about him. Best thing I can wish for is that he changes and just becomes a better trader and a better person. Because I know he is neither. At least the last time I spoke with him. And I just, when I cut people out of my life, like, it's like a stop loss. It's just done. I don't deal with them. I've had some good traders in my group, but their ego and their personality and how they treat people, if it's bad, I want nothing to do with them. I've kicked them out. This is a butterfly pattern. ANET. That's a pretty good setup, actually. Not too shabby. I think that was Joe. So what is this? Would be computer peripherals, electronic technology. Okay. ANET. Let's do daily chart. I'm going to be posting this on X. I'll talk you through it once we get this here. Daily chart, butterfly, harmonic setup. Let's see. Currently 355.36. Watching neckline, resistance for breakout at 358.40. From there, target 376.50, which is the X point resistance. Above 376.50 can fly to pattern completion at 399.50 to 411.50. So that's a good looking chart. That is a clean looking butterfly. Clean looking butterfly. So I just posted that on X, Joe. So essentially this neckline resistance here at 358, we're very close to it. You want to see a break above that. I think so far it's doing a great job. It does not have its earnings until October, so it's strictly price action right now. Overall, the chart looks great. It's a great looking chart. Great looking chart and a great setup. So the only other thing I will look at here is this. Let's see. Ah, dude, I got another harmonic that takes you higher. Can I take you higher? Sorry, Creed is stuck in my head. My Discord gave me so much crap today because I was humming it. And it was because a dude from, dude I was hanging out last night with some friends. He was humming it. I'm going to lose subscribers now for sure. I'm going to add this. Oh, and an ABCD pattern to 428.75. That's like way up there. Way up there. All right, Hamiltoes, let's do OCGN. Guys, keep sending chart requests if you have them. Make sure you guys are liking, subscribing, and if I post stuff on Twitter, like if I post that I'm doing a live stream, you could help me out by sharing that. Helps other people see it. Kind of catches the algorithm, which is nice. All right, let's see. OCGN. Oh yeah, there was a Creed. There was a Creed halftime show. I know what you're talking about. I think I liked that. That was, I can't remember when that was though. Oh my gosh. That is wild. There it is, November 2021 for OCGN. I sold at like 1550. 1550. I bought in. I was in at like 5 and 6. No, not 5. I was in at 6 something in the 650s. No, it wasn't 650. About 660, I think. Rode that thing for like a month. But yeah, it was this day. I was like, he said it was going to 20. I'm like, dude, it's done at 16 or 18. And it went, I think it went to 18. Yeah, 1877. Never saw the light of day after that. That was absolutely brutal. From a chart perspective, you know, unbiased, the chart looks overall like junk, but you already knew that. That is no surprise. But what can I do with this chart? So, as of right now, $2.32 is really the next benchmark of life for this thing. It is specifically, it's not so much it's the $2.32, it's the 0.114 fib, because for a Fibonacci retracement such as this, and the trend that I have drawn here, which I'll lay out, this is identifying a downtrend, obviously. You guys are smart. But what this Fibonacci retracement is measuring is it's measuring the retracement, but the 114, this level here, the nature of the 114 is to continue us in the trend and to form new lows or new highs in whatever the trend is. So as of right now, the fact that we can't get above the 114 still keeps us at risk of continuing lower in the trend. So the thing you want to see with OCGN is you want to see this benchmark of the 114. In this case, it's 232. You want to see that benchmark broke, and then you want to see it held. And that's when things can really start for OCGN, can really begin. I'm going to show you an example of trend continuation using this fib. And so if we look back at OCGN when it dumped, and we'll go back to, you know, this date right here. So January 2022, we sort of got a bounce and it popped up to the 114, pretty much to the penny. And at the time it was like 455. And what happened? When it rejected the 114, what did it do? It formed a new low in the current trend. So then you drag this down to the new low. You snap that in place. And then look what happened the next time. You get a bounce. You go to the 114, which is normal. It's very normal, especially for these types of stocks. At some point you get a bounce and you go to the 114. But look what happened. The 114 held resistance. It formed a new low. And then rinse and repeat. You start over. Drag this down to the low. Now your next target is to try to go to the 114. And if you can't do that, you make new lows and you make more new lows and more new lows. So as of right now, OCGN is still not testing 232, which is the 114, which is, you know, understandable given all the stuff that it's been through. But besides that fib, if I just look at this chart, and I'm going to pull up, you know, maybe the daily chart here, we clearly have a parallel channel that we're trading within. Okay, so I can draw this. I can drag this down. Maybe right there. And I can identify this as the descending parallel channel that this is trading within. And this will remain this way until, you know, further notice. But as far as a harmonic setup, want to draw this one first, but so this kind of looks like a crab pattern, which can take you down, a deep crab pattern, which can take you down to like 52 cents, which I know nobody wants. But I also don't want to give false hope. Let's see. Let me check this in the short term here. So that was a shark pattern that completed right there. So then I technically can make this, technically can make this a pattern. So that would be a bat pattern. And then this would be a crab pattern up here. No, that's not what I want. So I'll draw this out. This is a shark that completed. And this would be a bat or crab. And the bat or crab let me draw some levels here. Key support. Neckline resistance. Export resistance. For that, and then this will be the bat pattern completion. Those of you new and joining us, welcome. Let me know who's here. I'm curious who's here. A lot of good chart requests so far tonight. If you have chart requests, put them in the chat. Make sure you guys have liked and subscribed. I'm trying to think what else. If you guys got questions, let me know. Send them in the chat. Bat pattern completion. Change that to black. Let's call this the crab pattern completion. Let's call this bat crab. Key support at 114. 147. And then 157. Crab. And then this other one, which I have to draw. I don't want to draw it, but I have to draw it. It is the responsible thing to draw. You guys know I'll always shoot straight with you. So this would be a 618, and that is a deep crab. Let's try that again. So there's a couple levels for that. X point support. Those with the chart requests, throw them in the chat. I will take a look at them here as I knock out these charts I'm doing in front of me right now. This will be neckline support. Okay, and then from the C point to the D point, and I need the 38% retracement. This will be the PRZ down here. Make that green because it's bullish. Deep crab. So I got that. Just going to post both of these on X so that you have them. All right, posted that on X, so that one is done. LRCX, yeah, that one has had quite the volatility. Good grief. Ooh. Of course, brother. I'll always shoot with you straight. I'm always rooting for you with that one. Um, I know a lot of people that are in that still to this day. So let's see. Let's see your question. My friend just called me Nostradingus. I don't know what that means. Yeah, so what I have for OCGN, I do have a bullish scenario that takes us to 137, and I have another one that takes us to 157. But I also have a bearish scenario that can take us to 52 cents. They are posted on my X account. I just posted them, so feel free to take a look at the chart. And I have all the levels on there for you too. And you can share them with your friends and stuff. See what they think about it. LRCX. Does not look pretty right now. I'm going to have to clean slate this chart. So there's some things coming down in the pipeline. Hmm. LRCX looks like some pain. Ooh. Yikes. Like SMCI pain. Ooh. So let's do this. 2618. I know I put it in here. Where is it? Ah, there we go. Okay. Need that 886 too. Make this a little thicker so all my elderly can see. Let's see here. There we go. Font size is bigger too, so. Okay, LRCX. Yikes. I'll talk about it in just a second. All right. So LRCX, I have a 41% implied move to the downside with an ABCD pattern. So why does it project so far down? Well, the primary ratio of 0.618 squared gets you 0.382. That's the retracement that we had. We had about a 38% retracement before this pullback occurred. So what do I do with that? Being that it's the square, it's 0.618 squared to get 38. Well, I have to take the 1.618 and square that, and that gets me 2.618, which is down at 436.69. So we're currently trading at 747.78. So that's a 41% implied move to the downside, losing 41% stock value. Now, that sounds crazy, doesn't it? Well, so did SMCI when I charted it for the same pattern, similar pattern. And we were trading at 80, what was it? It was in the 800s. And we dumped in a matter of weeks 46%. So people thought I was crazy then. They can think I'm crazy now. But LRCX, that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing some downside for LRCX. Let's see. It looks like there's no other chart requests. Ooh, let me take a look at this for QQQ. Ha. Oh, this will be fun. This will be fun. That's a nice harmonic. Neckline resistance 485.54. Then we got X point resistance and all-time highs. X point resistance, all-time highs. X point resistant, all-time highs. Okay, that's good. All right, that's done. This is a butterfly. Textbook and clean. QQQ. So this would be all-time highs. Daily chart, butterfly pattern. Currently at 473.22. Approaching X to B upper trend line. Next target 485.54 neckline resistance. And 503.28. X point resistance. Pattern completion at pattern completion 524.99 to 536.33. So the implied move for that is 11 to 13.4%. Yeah, so QQQ has essentially with this setup has a 11 to 13.5% implied move. Let me throw that into the bunker. That is as textbook as you can get. Quite textbook. For the Qs. I'm just going to take a peek at NQ for a second. Okay. All right. Tell you what, I think that's good for the stream for tonight. I might do one tomorrow night. Depends. Tomorrow night or this weekend. I might do it this weekend. Kind of depends on what I'm doing. But expect more of these streams down the road. I'm gonna try to have them scheduled so that people know in advance. Let me know. Let me know in the chat or on X. Feel free to comment on my posts. Let me know what times you think work best for the streams. I'm thinking sometime at night. I'm thinking sometime 8 or 9 p.m. Eastern time. So let me know what you think. Thank you guys for joining. And I will see you next time. You guys take it easy.